And I'm going to give the mic to each one of them to first quickly introduce themselves before we throw in the questions. So I'm going to start with you, Manish.
Thank you, Punita. Yeah. So I'm Manish, and I'm the Chief Technology Officer of the Addverb. So Addverb is the robotics company, and there I'm heading the software development and the robotics product development. So we have all type of robotics project. It's the natural navigation based. We are also building the quadruped. We are also now into the humanoid, and this year we are going to launch the first version of the prototype of the humanoids. And overall, I'm having 22 years of experience. I worked in the engineering. I worked in the software development. I delivered many softwares, enterprise-level distributed system, and now into the robotics. Yeah.
Amol here. I am the CTPO for a B2B platform, Bizongo. The platform is trying to empower all the MSMEs in India who don't have access to the best priced raw materials for their factories, as well as access to credit, because this segment is underserved with major FIs. So we're just trying to build a platform where raw materials can be procured with better financing for MSMEs in India. Overall, more than 20 plus years of experience in tech. Past life worked in Amazon and Acco before taking this role. Yeah, I think it's fascinating, this space of AI. I think we learned this in our computer science book. Nobody paid attention to that at that time because it was mostly programming and systems design. So it's come a long way, and it's very interesting to see all of you here come to really understand what this space is. Being a Bangalorean here, I just warmly welcome all the people who have traveled from different part of India to come and attend this session. So a very warm welcome to all of you.
Thank you. Thanks, Amol. So today we are discussing with both of you how AI is making organizations people ready. So I'm going to start with you, Manish. I mean, in what way you think AI is going to rephrase or reframe the way we work?
Okay, so I'll talk more about from my organization perspective. So yes, AI is going to have the huge impact in terms of increasing the productivity, efficiency, reducing error, hence the increasing the business. So the AI is somehow, I believe, like we need to upscale the skill of the people. We need to sensitize people about the AI usage. Means I see when I go to my manufacturing unit, I see a lot of people are doing a lot of errors. And through AI, by sensitizing them to use the AI tool in the manufacturing, they can reduce the error, and that is what we are doing. We are implementing the AI in HR, marketing, the code engineering, the robotics. But the most important thing where we are using AI is the customer centricity, means the customer services, and that is giving us a lot of benefits. So that is it. Yeah.
Any specific examples you could share for our audience to relate?
Yes, I can. So, okay, we give when any issue come from the site or from the customer, we give the SLA to them like 1 hour or 1.5 hours or 30 minutes. By putting maybe n number of resources, I cannot commit them, means like I'm going to meet the SLA. But by putting some AI agent, definitely I'm going to commit them that yes, in 30 minutes, our response will come. Definitely we'll have certain RCA or something. So that is something we are working on. Second example is the predictive maintenance. So we deliver a lot of components, lot of hardware, robot hardware, subtle hardwares to the customer. So by having the predictive maintenance, means by analyzing the data, the AI agent is analyzing the data, proactively monitoring the hardware components to notify the error, so that our engineering team can act proactively on the time to minimize the business error.
Sure. I'll come to you, Amol. I mean, in what capacity you think Bizongo has started using AI, and has it changed the way, functions and roles are changing in these days?
Yeah, so I think if I just generally parse the word AI, because it's very loosely used, I think right now at the phase we're talking about more easily accessible generative AI, because AI applications have been in development for a long time. So when I see the general AI being used within our company, it is generally used as a productivity enhancement. For example, and this is applicable to most of the organization where the communications, like you have documentation, you have emails, meetings, there we are seeing like a step jump improvement by using AI, because if you're using any of the general cloud-based enterprise tool in your organization, they now come with transcribing meeting, creating notes, action items. That used to be a very repetitive and boring job of being part of any company. Those are very easy to find and summarize emails and responses and documents. They are very easy. So general productivity overall has tremendously enhanced. The core part of the business, right, where you need AI is very specific to the business context. There you still need to apply the context. For example, within Bizongo, there are specific applications related to supply chain optimization where you have to figure out at what price point you are going to buy. So we deal in buying raw aluminium, and there is a open market where the price keeps on fluctuating. So your margins are function of at what price you buy and at what price you sell, and this is a fluctuating market. So how the typical forecasting algorithms that we have used in the past, right? There is a deep ML anyways involved there. So we'll continue to use that AI application of forecasting and predicting the prices and defining what is the right procurement strategy. That is one very deep aspect of that. Second thing is, because we are also allowing and providing credit access to MSME, you have to do underwriting, basic aspects of risk prediction. There we are also using machine learning algorithms to really using your transaction and taxation data and your company's performance data, we are able to have some fair assessment of risk. So these are very specific niche, and I just talked about general application for maintaining office communication. So this is where we are using it on a regular basis.
Okay. So Manish, your organization is largely into making robots, and you're advancing operations at a lot of companies. So, I mean, when you talk about AI helping and further enhancing the roles and operations, are there any specific use cases you can mention, or in future you think that's going to change the scenario?
Yes, some of the use cases we can where actually we are using. So we are into the.
Just bring the mic close.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Sorry. So, okay, so some of the use cases where I think we are using it very efficiently is that we are code engineering companies. So what we do, we orchestrate the material movements inside the four wall. When I say four wall, it's a warehouse, but we can do inside anywhere. Means anywhere we can orchestrate the material movement using robot and the software. Now, with the same type of robot, same number of robot, you have to maximize the throughput. Means when I'm saying throughput, it could be picking, it could be any material movement. And now the traffic management, the task scheduling are the something where AI gives us a lot of benefit. Catching the human error. Same AI agent, if I'm operating in US, same AI agent will give the different result if I'm operating in Chennai or Delhi or in Kolkata. So we need to have the a specific agent model, a specific AI model which can operate in that cultural thing. So that is something we are also working on, where we trained our model for that specific set of data. Many times customer does not allow us to get the data access. Then what we tell them, like, okay, we'll train the model on your data set only, and we apply the model on your operation. We'll not apply the model trained on your data set to the other one. So that is something we are doing specific to the customer also. We are using heavily on the customer service edge. We are using AI in the mathematical algorithm, what we have developed, like task scheduling, the traffic management, the picking and catching the operational or the layman, the people who is operating at the warehouse, the catching those errors, increasing the picking throughput. So these are the specific cases where we are actively using.
Okay. And if, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
And one more thing I wanted to, sorry, yeah. So because most of the, we are also the manufacturing company, so most of the people are untrained. So we were giving them in the manufacturing, we were giving them the training, but the mistake they were doing actually quite huge. So with the help of AI, by analyzing the data, by suggesting them to improve understanding the skill gap, we are giving them the training. So what we have done right now, just by catching those errors proactively, our time to market has got heavily reduced.
Okay. So Amol, if we largely talk about the e-commerce industry, how do you think that's going to, see the next reforms via AI?
So I think in e-commerce, machine learning, now AI, has been used for many years within e-commerce in terms of, let's say, pricing strategy, procurement, logistics and transportation management. They have been, for like last 20 years, a lot of things has happened in last mile logistics. These are hardcore algorithms that use large scale of data and predict the most optimal way of doing a certain transaction. So there a lot of things has continue to happen. I think what is the next way where it is helping is the more generative aspects of it, where let's say customer service in a more human aspect. There is a step jump, like where the chatbots that we used to use earlier or design were very rigid in a domain and were not performing that well, where you have to use still options. General customer service for any e-commerce now can use any NLP, like a human-like language, and you can ask questions and answer in a very customized and personalized way. That was not possible earlier. So I think that's where I feel like there is a big leap within specifically e-commerce. Where basically, and then second thing is in most of the B2C companies, right, where marketing is a big function, and marketing through content and catalog. Now it's a big way of reaching customers. They're doing at large scale, like customized content creation and targeting is a rich application of the current generative AI applications. Where like there used to be a large team of doing content creation and marketing. Now it is just through very simple tool chain and a small team size, you can actually create a very massive marketing for your products. So I think these two, in my opinion, and I'm sure there are others, but where I can see a very direct application, I have observed in my personal experience where we are seeing a big use today using the current AI capabilities.
So when we all talk about the challenges, in AI adoption, and like in the start of your conversation, you rightly mentioned, it's a term being used very loosely these days. So, what do we need more? Do we need more knowledge? Do we need more people who know how to adopt it? What exactly is required?
I think it's just a phase of technology movement. Like I think this has happened in the past also through agriculture, industrial revolution and information. That is my opinion, and humans have continued to evolve and their life has only become better. It's just awareness and understanding of what AI is still a tool, right, in its purest form. Is how do you use it for your betterment is what will define the outcomes. What it means is obviously during earlier trends and revolution, like the job skill sets changed drastically, right? You may not have the same job relevant anymore because a lot of those skill set have been now replicated from a human to an AI application. So humans can still pursue a more higher order of intelligence where they will still be required in terms of original creativity, like ethics, how humans interact with each other, moral aspects of higher values of human beings. They are not yet replicable in the AI application. So where humans will continue to still strive. All the jobs which are more mundane or repetitive in terms of a specific segment, they may not continue to exist. Now what it means is just awareness of where the world is moving and like training people to the new ways of working. So I think as we're going through that, at least what mature organizations can do for the company is first make people aware of these things because there's still people catching up, and ensure that we are training relevant, not just general, but relevant to the team and the company specific where AI is required, and help people train through this. So that will assimilate people rather than throwing them out of the spectrum. They are not replacing, they were just embracing them in this way.
You rightly said, I mean, instead of replacing, we need to embrace that new change. So, Manish, any thoughts you have around it?
I agree with what Amol said. Okay, so AI is not going to replace the job, means replace the human. It's going to assist the human. So it's augmenting the human. Most of the repetitive job, error-prone job, can be taken over by, or we can automate using the AI, and a human can more be the part of decision making. So ultimately, the AI can help in doing the repetitive job. 8 years back, when we started the company, people asked whether automation will be successful in India, because in India, labor is very cheap. Today, everybody in the warehouse are doing the automation. Same is happening with the AI. When AI is here, people are asking, it will replace the human job, whether this will be successful. But I think this is going to be successful because it will help us to reduce the repetitive job, reduce the rework, reduce the error. It will help the organization to increase the customer service, customer satisfaction. Hence, business will increase and more job will be created. So ultimately, we'll grow.
Okay. But if you talk about your organizations in particular, I mean, these days, I mean, are you hiring more people who already understand this new technology much more or understand AI adoption?
So I think the technology is very easy to use. So you don't need deep expertise to learn this. It's a simple tool chain. It's just the ways of working and training. So you don't need to hire people who are proficient in AI per se. Where deep AI expertise and ML is required is when you're truly building something which is deep to your company, like a very niche algorithm or a specific problem spec. There you may need a specialized data scientist and machine, which was the case earlier also, where people were deploying. So it's just a matter of I think using AI ML application will be equivalent to learning Java, like where people when moved to your desktop application to web services, everybody learned web services, and like that became the way of working. Like even though those people didn't learn web services because it didn't exist in textbooks way back when they were in college, they just got learned through it. So using AI to build AI ready application is going to be on job training, but deep data science will continue to where you are building core algorithms and models. For those roles we'll have to hire data scientists. For others like general engineers should be able to like suffice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, so using AI tool, it's not very tough. So you just need to provide the training. You need to sensitize the people, provide them the training. Yes, if you want to build your own model, definitely you need a specific skill set of people with a specific skill set who has a deep understanding of the AI models, how to create the models. Also have the good understanding about the data or the context-based data. So those two things are required. But yes, generic AI tool, which we can use in the marketing, HR, or many specific customer services, I think a generic AI tool, just training should be sufficient.
Okay, so before I throw open the floor for audience Q&A, I want to ask you, I mean, any particular tip or advice you have for companies who want to make their organizations AI ready? I mean, what should they keep in mind or anything you want to suggest?
See, I think for general productivity enhancements for the organization, that's a straightforward. Like definitely you should look for all these standard tool chain to help people do the general kind of work where it is like writing, document creation, content creation, those aspects that we should definitely straightforward start adopting, especially the content side of things, marketing functions. There you will see a very big step jump in terms of the productivity. And as usual, like business has to evaluate their core deep business where AI will make a huge difference. Then they should evaluate case by case basis. I think that's more general guidance. I mean, unless there is specific, but at least these two I am seeing like a good starting point to get started with, rather than just trying to throw AI at every damn thing. Like it may not be the right way. It's just a way to help you scale your company.
Sure, Manish?
Yes, So, yes, so sensitizing the people, making them aware about the AI benefits. These are the two things I will suggest. But most important thing is that asking them to innovate, and if they are failing, if somebody is failing, encourage them, if accept the failure and move on. So that is the most important thing. If you are doing any innovation or you are doing any change in the organization, there is a chances that things will fail. Last thing is that don't create separate workflow for the AI. Try to integrate AI in the existing workflow. That will help you to improve. That will help you to grow.
So with this, we open the floor for questions. Please raise your hand and identify yourself. The mic will be passed on to you. So sir here has a question. Can we pass on the mic?
I'm Dr. Ramesh. I'm a CEO of Neurasim Private Limited. So how do you see, not only in health tech, and generally agentic AI transforming in or coming up, where it is going to provide a comprehensive solution using AI tools to specific problem statements that we are now trying to get human resources engaged in? How agentic AI is going to play a role is?
Agentic AI I find very useful. In fact, for me, like in next 5 years, agentic AI will do a lot of revolution in the robotic industry. Because in robotics industry, like not just the creation or the suggestion, you have to apply the result. You have to get the session, you have to apply the result. And if you are not getting the result, you are just getting the session, if people are not asking you to what to do now, then that's not going to solve your problem. So that is something I think. So I'll give you one example. User is doing some operation. If my AI model is able to capture those errors proactively and suggesting them, no, you got to do this, and that is going to help me a lot. Otherwise, every time what we'll do, I'll have the set of data set where I'll have to make the decision. But with agentic AI, model can suggest you the things, and that will help us. Yeah, and means in robotic industry, in the technology, it's going to be hugely successful.
Yeah, I think I look at agentic AI as nothing but more smarter workflow, which allows you to chain multiple different kind of AI modules in a synchronization, so you can do some more complex thing that one can do alone. So if you apply that lens, I think the agentic AI would be part of more now mainstream AI as another utility is rather than outside. And using that, you can do any complex decision making, which may be rare in some scenarios, as you're saying, like it's very specialized scale where you have to do it. You can use it in any business process where there is multi-agent interaction. Let's say there is one end of the interaction is a customer. Another side of the interaction might be some other internal operator or a specialist. And you want to stitch the entire process to change depending on the inputs and decision making, then an agentic kind of orchestration in between would just make the entire solution easy rather than you have to plumb it yourself. Otherwise, in absence of that, you can still customize your flow and it can still work. But it may not be very fluid. That benefit you get with an agentic AI workflow layer in between.
I'm Sandeep, and I'm a founder of Lautek Labs. We are helping people with emotional intelligence. My question is that in the world where, as you guys are mentioning, that AI will do a lot of work which people will take more time, effort and energy to do, and also they will take decisions for us. How do you feel, what would be the role of humans? What kind of work or what kind of things which humans would be able to do and should be required to do when the AI is taking the works which we are doing now? What would you suggest? Thank you.
Yeah, I think when things that humans were doing get replaced by their own in intelligence like AI, then humans needs to move up. And that's what has happened, which means that there are a lot of the things that are getting automated, like decision making, is not the only thing that humans do. The science is so vast and the space where technology can be applied is still, at the surface, right? We have just deployed technology and computation. There is so much diverse field on environment, biology and molecular biology, or like maybe quantum mechanics. Like they're still, you still think about them as science fiction. So I feel like humans should pursue like more wacky ideas like science fiction there, because it will become easier. Like imagine like using how fast it is now to do research. Earlier it was so hard because we didn't have the tool chain. I feel like there is going to be more breakthrough using AI, this of where new fields will come in play which didn't exist right now. So I think at least I have a very optimistic view about looking where we will go from here. It's just that I think it will be a very fascinating world to be in, that where when all these normal things will be done by AI, we'll move to doing something extraordinary. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Even I have the similar opinion. Like AI will help you in reducing, means automating the repetitive work, reducing the error. But still, decision making, I believe, will be the human will take most of the times. There could be agentic UI which can take the decision on your behalf, but for that particular set of data or for which the model is trained. I can give you very good example, like cook in New Delhi cannot be successful in the, as a cook in the Chennai because of the different cultures, right? So it's a agentic AI is the very much similar. The model you have trained will work only for the particular set of data, particular set of environment. So most of the time means the AI can give you the options, AI can give you some analytics, but decision making still will be in the hand of human. And human can more focus on the creative works, decision making, and upscale means go one level higher. Right.
We'll just take one last question. Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, just had this question. In a business, which line of business, let's say, which department in the today, do you feel there is actually a basic need for AI to be adopted?
Sir, just to understand your question, you're saying like which department will benefit the most from AI?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be all aspects of it. I feel so. Like operations is standard, like customer support and operations is a standard application that is already been used, let's say. But with a lot of these unique things where you can apply in HR, like we never thought about. For example, now there is a lot of disruption in the entire hiring process. There are a lot of AI generated interviewing, recruiting process that you can apply AI directly. In terms of onboarding for your, there is LMS systems in HRs, right, where you have content has to be created in that for your company module, which needs to be repeatedly changed. Like there is an HR team doing that. A lot of those things could now be very straightforward application where you can use in onboarding and HR functions, even in finance, like because it's very easy to do reconciliation and account. I mean, it's very hard in the finance function to do reconciliation of account across. There is a text system database sitting here which doesn't reconcile with your tally that the finance team manages and all. A lot of those data crunching activities can be simply done because some of these agents work across multiple heterogeneous systems and makes things simple. So these are, I think, maybe just some examples where you can start thinking beyond the typical place of operations and tech.
I'll give you a very specific answer. Like I think healthcare and the cyber security and the fraud detection, these are the area I think AI will impact. Means every area means every department AI will have the impact, but these three area department I think AI will have most impact because even by putting more people in this area, you cannot reduce or you cannot optimize this either the cyber security or the fraud detection or the healthcare, where AI can analyze all your data from the past, all the scenarios, everything, and then give you the result.